Gentlemen, behold!
In the early to late 90s, Cartoon Network was a channel made with the express purpose to air nothing but animated content. Something that had never really been done exclusively on a TV network before. It is a channel meant only for animation, and it would remain that way forever. They would never air live-action content. Ever. Now, of course, the type of content Cartoon Network would air would be all-ages content for the time being, but it wasn't until the introduction of Adult Swim in which they would start to try to tap into those more mature audiences. With the introduction of the Adult Swim block on Cartoon Network in 2001, the channel finally had a much more official platform to air mature content. Of course, I say finally, but that's because they did technically air mature content sometimes late at night with no advertising in the 90s. And I think it's probably a good time to mention that the type of mature content they were producing was this.
Hey, Space Ghost, wanna hear a funny joke? Knock knock.
Who's there?
You.
Before Adult Swim, Cartoon Network was really just experimenting with the idea of making content like this. During this time, there strangely was a slowly growing adult audience for the channel. It was the type of audience that grew up on cartoons and still loved cartoons, so this experimentation started with Space Ghost Coast to Coast in 1994, which historically, I am just finding out as I record this video, was the first Cartoon Network produced series ever.
I'd like to say that I think this show is very bad.
Okay.
And should be stopped.
Oh, okay.
I think you're a bad person, and don't take this the wrong way.
All right.
But I think you represent evil.
Yeah.
And your presence makes any kind of progress in the universe impossible.
Hold on a second, Conan.
Being this Hanna-Barbera character they weren't doing anything with at the time, they turned him into a very shitty late-night talk show host. Stuff that was literally just shitposting, but on an extremely cheap budget and on national television. So the key thing to remember is this was the very first time they tried something like this. They wanted to make this stuff as cheaply as possible, almost to the point of making something from almost nothing. Not in the aspect of how cheap Hanna-Barbera shows were made back in the day. No, this was on a whole different level of cheap. And that was the charm of Space Ghost. Despite having an extremely low budget and being made in the way that it was, the show was funny. This wasn't the Adult Swim we knew yet, but this was the key step to when they eventually finally introduced Adult Swim as the official platform for mature content on the channel. But the key thing to remember is many of the people producing that first batch of Adult Swim shows still had to work around that extremely low budget. So, keeping in mind, as part of that first batch of shows, there was a show known as Aqua Teen Hunger Force, a show born out of these budget restraints. And as a show that only came on late at night in the early 2000s, and this being a block for insane people, I have no fucking clue how to describe this one. Folks, you don't need heavy experience in television to make your dream show a reality. You just need Adobe After Effects and Final Cut. Aqua Teen Hunger Force is the kind of show you would watch when you're too stoned for SpongeBob. It's basically if a bunch of Newgrounds people got together to make a show, but the writing is terrible. It's just the kind of show that I don't even know, dude.
Gentlemen, behold! I have made love to this machine!
The entire show was made on a shoestring budget of $60,000 per episode, which, for TV animation, is very cheap. Down to every single detail, everything was designed to be as easy to animate as possible. They reused backgrounds from other Hanna-Barbera shows, they reused animations a lot. It was like the modern-day equivalent of how cheaply Hanna-Barbera shows were produced back in the day. And I think the most interesting thing about the production of this show was that the intro song was made in the limo drive over to the studio. It was the kind of show where they literally did not give a shit. Tweet everything! Tweet everything like your life depends on it! I will say though, there's a heavy charm to the cheapness of it all. Just being this random early 2000s program that was made on the cheap. It's a charm they kind of lose in the later seasons when they got an actual budget and made the switch to widescreen. Now, being very baseline about this.
Dancing is forbidden.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force is kind of a hard thing to describe. But basically, it's a bunch of sentient fast food products living in New Jersey. They have a neighbor named Carl. Stuff happens.
What happened to my friggin' car?
Comprised of Master Shake, Frylock, and Meatwad, each with their own kill count, Master Shake is the most narcissistic leader in the history of ever. Think Eric Cartman, but instead of getting away with everything, he gets all his punishments.
What the hell's this? I told you, fireman, astronaut, race car driver, maybe bikini judge. And this is what I get? Food service? Are you kidding me? This is third world, and I'm from the first.
Master Shake is a loser who says all of his bullshit so confidently you can't help but love it when he fails. Then there's Frylock being the smart one of the group and Meatwad being the child. He has no brain. Together they form the Aqua Teens, a superhero group that has been given the objective to feed all teens around the world. Or maybe they were just invented to cure hunger or some shit. I don't know. Interestingly, the idea for the show came from an unproduced episode of Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Well, Ghost, it seems we have a tasty little problem then, don't we?
I just thought...
Thought what? That food is free?
This episode would later be produced in 2003 after Aqua Teen Hunger Force became a show and was getting really popular.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force, assemble!
Frylock, the hunger.
Meatwad, ball of compressed meat.
And together we are Aqua Teen Hunger Force!
And this has led a lot of people to say it's a spin-off of Space Ghost, which, I mean, it sort of is and isn't. I mean, the only thing that really is similar to both of these shows is really the writing. You know, the kind of writing where you're just sitting there at 4 in the morning with your dick in your hand and you're wondering where you went wrong writing this stupid fucking video about sentient fast food.
Classic rock will be forever changed.
Oh no.
And I'm making a movie with Axl Rose. It starts off in the desert,
Quickly to the houseboat!
where we are both hungry and scorpions roam the earth.
They kind of just lay at home all day while stuff happens every episode, whether it be by their own volition or by a different factor. Every episode consists of either a new one-off or background character being introduced or some other bullshit happening that they need to deal with. I'd say most episodes end with no resolution, but now that I'm thinking about it, almost every episode of the show ends with no resolution. Every episode just spends its time trying to waste as much of your time as possible.
So why did you fill Carl's pool with blood?
Well, this is going to take a long time, so you may want to get some snacks. Thousands of years ago, thousands of years ago, thousands of years ago.
Boy, this is a long story, you know. Maybe, I will get something to eat.
The episode where Meatwad and Master Shake sign up Frylock's computer to an internet service that bombards their house with pop-up ads.
Hello, Master Shake.
How do they solve this? They don't.
What? I got wireless.
But in other episodes, this is what they call the don't give a fuck rule. The show runs on extremely heavy episodic rules. And the show only relies on continuity when it applies for a joke. No matter how far the status quo is changed in an episode, it will always reset in the next. Some episodes involve characters getting completely mutilated and dying. One episode, Frylock kills everyone.
You killed us. I told you not to do it, and you did it.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
You did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
You did.
No, really, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You did.
No, I didn't.
Did too.
Didn't. Didn't.
Did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Whoa, watch it. Watch the fire over there. Gonna burn you.
Oh, thank you.
But that was just a simulation, as at the end of the episode it's revealed that none of that happened. Which of course made the whole ordeal a waste of time. Meatwad is playing this video Ouija game on the TV, and Master Shake decides to kill himself just to mess with Meatwad. Then Meatwad completely loses interest in the game. And now Master Shake is dead. What can I say? I've made the mistake of overcommitting to a joke way too far, so I get it. So what happens next? Do they bring Master Shake back to life?
So, how is this pronounced?
Billy.
Have you ever worked with anything any larger than a chicken?
BillyWitchDoctor.com work mostly in chicken. Chicken, arise! Arise, chicken! Arise!
And then the rest of the episode is just the same joke over and over again.
Arise! Arise!
Arise! Arise!
Arise! Arise! Arise! Arise! Arise!
Arise!
Arise! Arise! Arise! Arise!
Arise!
Arise, chicken!
This entire episode was just a giant waste of time. So, it's like a balancing act of trying to figure out which episodes are canon and non-canon, because in the later episode they call back to a lot of situations, but then they show the Chicken Necromancer episode.
Chicken, arise!
Now you see, this can easily be explained. Aqua Teen Hunger Force has more lore and depth than a Valve game.
I guarantee you'll not go hungry, because at the end of the day, long as there's 2 people left on the planet, someone is going to want someone dead.
It's not for the pure of heart, as there is just too much to go through to understand the intricacies of what is Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It is a very deep and well-written show that if you blink for a second, you will miss some very important information.
Solo! Willy Willy.
Of the many recurring characters within the show, one being Cybernetic Ghost of Christmas Past, what the fuck is that thing? The Moon and Night characters were inspired off the E.T. Atari game, the game that is attributed with the 1983 video game crash that was then buried in a New Mexico landfill. Their whole existence revolves around showing up for an episode, being a dick to the main characters, and leaving. That's it.
I hope you can see this because I'm doing it as hard as I can.
That is what almost every extra character boils down to, honestly. Not all of them, but that's what a lot of them do.
This, pizza C, does it do anything better than this?
You want me to speed it up?
I mean, do you have anything like a mountain adventure or...
We do have another one.
Yeah.
Some people like it.
Okay, load it up.
Welcome to this horse's anus.
But throughout all these atrocities, there is one character who we have mentioned already who bears witness to all these war crimes of this show.
Hello, Carl. I am Ignignoct, and this is
I am
We are Moonanites from the inner core of the moon.
You said it right.
Our race is hundreds of years beyond yours.
Man, do you hear what he's saying?
Some would say that the Earth is our moon.
We're the moon.
But that would belittle the name of our moon, which is the moon.
Point is, we're at the center, not you.
No, the real point is, I don't give a damn.
Carl is a character I can only describe as everyone's spirit animal. He's just a regular guy who's grown used to the Aqua Teen's bullshit. But he's not only appeared in the show, he's also appeared in many commercials for PlayStation, KFC, and many others. He even appeared in GTA 5. I'm not making that up, that's real.
Yeah, I'm calling in to request, any music that ain't this. Stop playing everything you've been playing, cause your music sounds like a dumpster rolling down 5 flights of stairs.
He was also a commencement speaker for 2020, which is the greatest 5 minutes and 25 seconds of all time.
Never, ever, ever wash your feet. And that is my one secret for success.
So, from my observations so far, we are left with asking one question. What is the point? Bringing this back, Aqua Teen Hunger Force really is the kind of show where they did not give a shit. The show opens up with an intro that paints the picture of what looks like a show about crime-fighting fast food items. But then the episode starts and it's just like, hey, what's up? You see this? Pretty funny, huh? So, how do you pitch that? A show as nonsensical as this. A show with, like, 0 to no arguments of what it's about. How do you pitch that? Okay, so, as previously discussed, the original pitch for the Space Ghost episode is they are mascot characters for a fast food restaurant. They are superheroes who fight hunger and such. But they don't really do superhero things or fight hunger. So to pitch the show, they are detectives now. They solve mysteries, crimes, and the such.
We shall solve the mystery from Carl's pool.
Don't go to my pool.
In the pilot.
I wonder who killed Carl's car.
A car cannot be killed. It was murdered.
And I don't think they even really solve the problem in the episode.
I've called this meeting to say that downtown is no longer safe. So in short, we need to pick some new restaurants and nightclubs.
Get out of my freaking pool!
You could call it a mystery, but it's not really a mystery. So because of the show having to be pitched this way, the first season revolves around mostly that concept. Mostly. Aqua Teen Hunger Force is a very TV show of all time. They needed some sort of pitch just to get the show made, because look at this. No executive is going to understand this. So the first season had a focus of them being detectives, but once season 2 came out, all of that was thrown out the window. Now they did bring this idea back in later season, but it's still a joke on itself. But there has to be something to it, right? There has to be a point. You can't just write a show like this with no point.
Classic rock will be forever changed.
So, with the introduction of Adult Swim in 2001, it was just a much more official platform to air these programs. But again, it was very much content no other channel would accept. That was the distinctness of Adult Swim. Aqua Teen Hunger Force was born out of the many spoof shows they were doing with the Hanna-Barbera property back then. Whether it be they took an old character and made a prompt off of them and ran with it, I think you can count Aqua Teen Hunger Force as a Hanna-Barbera show, and the aspect of it really was the product of what they were doing with the brand back then, just being a parody of itself. And, well, it also being the byproduct of Space Ghost. That's just what early Adult Swim was, parodies of something familiar but also something completely new being done. But this is fine art. Aqua Teen Hunger Force is too high profile. It could only last like 2 seasons at best. It's just too good for humanity. There's no possible way it could have been popular, right?
Surprise! Surprise!
It was a hit. 12 seasons and still going. Aqua Teen Hunger Force was a huge hit. I mean, people ate this shit up. They loved it. This shit could be produced on the cheap, so of course, they made more episodes. Aqua Teen Hunger Force quickly shifted into the most popular Adult Swim show, and to this day, it's still a staple of the block. I mean, I'd go as far as to say it's pretty far up there in pop culture. I think you can even go as far as to say that Aqua Teen Hunger Force left a very specific impact on Cartoon Network's later 2010s shows with their humor. It is a great example of how experimental the channel was back then. Then, they made a video game? Whoa, I didn't know they had one of those. This is an ancient relic from a far time past of 2007. It might be an injustice for me to put this into my PS2, but my curiosity is strucken. I really need to know what is on this disc. Oh yeah, there was a video game. Cool.
I don't need no instructions to know how to rock.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force Zombie Ninja Pro-Am. Yes, that's the title. It's a pretty mediocre golfing, battle royale, Mario Kart, dating simulator, Japanese RPG, psychological horror, survival, Minecraft, Five Nights at Freddy's, Strand game. But in the aspect of being based off the show, this game is a game.
That's it. Hit a few more in, because this is all that happens in the whole game.
Having the writers work on it, it's a great tie-in game, and the aspect of it feels like a lost episode. The most aggravating part about the game really is the karting segments, though. The constant usage of stock sound effects and the worst rubber banding I've ever seen in a kart racer level is enough to make me take my PS2 outside and give it a stern talking to. Yeah. It might be cursed. I'm being honest here, the disc might be cursed. The real enjoyment of this game is playing it to see all of the cutscenes, which honestly is the only reason fans would play these tie-in games. And yeah, it has the writers, so it works for the most part. But what's the most interesting about this game is that it came with 4 free episodes on the disc. You could watch the show in the game. I mean for 2007, that's really cool. And even one of the episodes was exclusive to the game for 2 months before it aired on TV, so still, really interesting for the time. Now, all this just leaves one question. Did it truly make the homies say ho and the girls want to scream?
The Fargate! Yeah, you know I pooted in there and covered your universe in stink.
Oh, man, what did you eat?
I really should stop playing this game at this point. It's poisoning my mind. Wait, what's this?
Aqua Teen Hunger Force is an action, adventure, romance, comedy, thriller.
Welcome
to the Aqua Teen video game.
I believe that there is combat golf cart racing in the game.
There are no zombies or ninjas that I know of yet, but those will be added digitally.
I guess it's the magic of video games.
There's a lot more grunts in the video game. We really hope that this game has amazing graphics and cutting-edge technology. We keep saying that in emails, in all caps and bold. Amazing graphics and cutting-edge technology.
And it's constantly ignored. They're weird.
They're food. I relate to Carl because he's human.
Watch the jewels there. That's filled with sperm. That's how I make money.
Aqua Teen, Hunger Force,
Pro
Ninja
Ninja Am
Zombie, Pro
of the
Am.
Night.
Do not fail to
Do
buy
it,
it.
buy it.
That was the most in-character interview for this show I have ever seen. Alright, that's gotta be it. We have covered absolutely everything there is to talk about with this show. There is nothing more I can talk about. We have covered absolutely everything, down to every aspect. There's nothing else, right?
Where are my freaking pants?
Ah. Yes. It seems I have forgotten about the movie.
We're here to throw down!
Knock, knock.
Welcome home, baby. Aqua Teen Hunger Force, movie film for theaters.
Nice to see you all. So we're live, are we? Oh, we are? Well, so I should have some sort of a formal introduction then, shouldn't I?
Aqua Teen Hunger Force, movie film for theaters. They had a movie.
Let's get right down to the festivities. Let's meet our first guest, shall we? And here they are now. Oh, you can see the throngs of people lining up to see the Aqua Teen motion picture. We're really on live now.
No, not like a direct-to-DVD movie. I mean actual theatrical motion picture movie. You could go to an actual movie theater in 2007 and watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force on the big screen in beautiful 35mm film. This is an anomaly, folks. This should not exist. You could never do something like this today. And yet, here it is, existing right here in front of me. This movie is real. Egypt, millions of years ago, 3 p.m., 1492. But I guess Aqua Teen was popular enough to get a movie. I mean, Powerpuff Girls did the same thing back in 2002, and that went great. It's 2007, anything's possible. Fuck it. 2D animation is dying, let's kill it faster. Fuck you, Disney. Fuck you, Pixar. This is where the real money is at. Now, the movie was released on April 10th in 2007, but Adult Swim in their infinite wisdom did a funny. Just a week before that, on April 1st, Adult Swim decided to play the entirety of the movie on TV, in the corner in a small box while other shows played.
Get ready for the world premiere of the Aqua Teen Hunger Force, movie film for theaters.
Oh, it's just their fucking, their April Fool's joke they do every year. Yeah, remember the time they turned Aqua Teen Hunger Force into babies?
I'm holding my fist at you because I am angry. I am not holding up my middle finger because this is for kids.
This is great.
Which character in the film did you play as your favorite?
Did I play as my favorite? I'm a big cup with I play a milkshake.
There was also a marketing stunt the movie pulled that caused a large controversy. And I mean, like, really large. In January of 2007, a bunch of LED lights of the Moon and Knight characters were placed all around Boston in various seeable areas near bridges, roads, and subway stations. Places where people would definitely see them and notice them. And notice them they did, as the Boston police mistook the light boxes as bombs. Half of the city was shut down, highways completely closed and halting multiple roads around the town. 2 arrests were made by the artists who were commissioned to make the light boxes and place them around the city. And Cartoon Network had to pay $2 million to the Boston Police Department. Oh, and the vice president had to resign because of this.
Police say a passenger finds a suspicious package under I-93.
Cable news viewers in this country were treated to hours of live coverage this afternoon.
Really just a normal Tuesday for the Aqua Teens, honestly. Now, I'm not saying the following decade of the channel was shaped solely by this event, but you would never see Cartoon Network attempt something like this ever again. And given it was 2007, it probably would have been better to not do something like this. It's especially with the fact that not many people at the mainstream knew what Aqua Teen Hunger Force was. But that's the thing, though. Because the most interesting part about this was the general audience didn't know what the fuck Aqua Teen Hunger Force was. Keeping in mind, Aqua Teen Hunger Force is not as niche of a show as you think, but it's still a pretty niche show. So, what if we brought it to the masses?
A marketing stunt is now being blamed for that terrorist scare in Boston.
So, yeah, it's no wonder, given the climate at the time, and not many people knowing what the fuck Aqua Teen Hunger Force was, it's no wonder what happened. And the handling of the situation was just very inconsequential.
Haircuts in the 70s?
Yeah,
we really want to discuss the style of them.
We feel it's really important because we think it's been a big inspiration on how people live their lives today.
Then Aqua Teen Hunger Force proceeded to make an episode about it. It went unreleased. You know, people took the signs and sold them on eBay afterwards. Despite the controversy of this subject, only the superfans of the show own these things now. You can find people making these things on Etsy. That doesn't have anything to do with the script, I just think that's really cool. Despite this, the movie still managed to walk away with $5 million on a $750,000 budget, though. So talking about how niche Aqua Teen Hunger Force was, it clearly wasn't as niche as we thought. You made a profit off of this. Good job, Shake person. It's literally a showcase of how strong Aqua Teen's fanbase was, a testament of how much people love this stuff. And it was so worth the trouble! But what is the movie about? We've talked all about what happened outside of the movie, the controversy, the April Fool's joke. What's the movie actually about? What does this piece of true cinema that caused a citywide controversy offer to the world that no other film can offer? The Aqua Teens, living their normal lives, have been thrusted into a national conflict involving Abe Lincoln, time travel, and ancient exercise equipment. But through this struggle, they are then sent on a quest to find out who they are and who created them. And the movie goes exactly how you think it would. Let's take this 11-minute show and stretch it out for an hour and a half, and it's exactly what you think it is. But this time, they have to give it an ending. There has to be a point this time. They can't just half-ass it this time. It has to have an ending.
Yes, Frylock, I am your mother. And I am a 9-layer bean burrito.
Oh. Well, that's neat.
It's the end of the movie and it's getting late. I know that you didn't come here with a date. You'll probably go home and masturbate. You're pathetic and lonely and you can't afford high definition television.
It don't matter. None of this matters.
Kids, the lesson of today is if you want to make your own TV show, cartoon, movie, or whatever, you just need the pure willpower and want to do it. Fuck experience, just fuck all of it. By the words of Dana Terrace, the voice of Master Shake.
As I'm dubbing it, the Hollywood blockbuster. This should not be referred to as a film or a motion picture, only Hollywood blockbuster.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force was cancelled in its 11th season in 2015, but then it came back for a 12th season and another movie? I'm not making a video on that movie. At this point, Aqua Teen Hunger Force is one of those shows that Adult Swim will every so often bring back for a new season. It's a very important show when it comes to talking about Cartoon Network's history, despite how ridiculous it is. Aqua Teen Hunger Force was not invented for entertainment. Entertainment was created for Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and by that logic, film was created for it as well. With that, I end this video with the discovery that there was no point to Aqua Teen Hunger Force. And by that logic, there was no point in me making this video. This entire video was a waste of time. Frylock is a trans femme icon. Aqua Teen forever, bitches.